It's a baseball podcast, the Seattle Mariners Sogcast. Patrick, Gurt, and Owen and Matt talking about Mariners bats and stats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Owen.
The Mariners are currently 55-47, and despite their recent struggles, they are still in the second wildcard spot.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a rough go since the All-Star break, but they are still sitting pretty. They're in good position. The hope is not lost despite the recent struggles against the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, we came into playing Houston, Texas, Houston. We were about 9 games over 500, I think. And we've been playing about 500 ball since then. We're I think 1 game under 500 since we came back from the break. Got swept by Houston, swept Texas, and now we're in the midst of this 4-game series, and we just took 1, lost 2. Robbie Ray kind of sucked yesterday.
There's a lot of problems when we play the Astros. It's every single time it's something else.
I mean, to the Astros' credit, they're just a really good ball club. You know, it's really tough to come back after the All-Star break when we've been on, 14-game win streak, and then get swept by Houston. But they're really good, and we proved that it's not like a trend setting. We came back and kicked the shit out of Texas 3 games in a row. And then, we did just drop 2, but we won today. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. It sucks that it happened, but no alarm bells are going off for me.
Yeah, I agree. They're one of the hardest teams to beat in the American League. They've been in the ALCS every year. I mean, they're the team to beat, and it sucks to get swept by them, especially being so hot and having a little hiatus without Julio Rodriguez in there for the whole series was kind of tough, and we hope he doesn't go down. And he seemed okay, and we'll see how he is after tonight.
And I want to say that the Mariners showed that despite getting swept, which always sucks, they didn't give up. They fought through every single game. Sometimes it was really late in the game, but 7th, 8th, 9th inning, they were getting runners on base. They put themselves in a position to potentially come back and get the win, and they didn't. And it just goes to show that they're just missing that one piece. They need another bat, another something into the lineup that can kind of help them and boost them in those late game situations. But gone are the days of the Mariners when they're down by 4 in the second inning and the game is just over. I'm sure the 11-1 shellacking yesterday was kind of like that, but that hasn't been the norm. This team has a lot of fight in them, a lot of late inning pushes. They still got fight. They still have what it takes to win the game later on.
They definitely have that energy to rally. They don't give up. They don't roll over. They have put themselves in positions with runners in scoring position to tie or go ahead in many of the games that we've lost. And even against Houston, at points in the game, we had a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think they're definitely kind of a come-from-behind team. I think when we were on that 14-game win streak, a lot of those wins we were down and we came back to win. And it seems like where we get a whole bunch of runs early in the game, it seems like a lot of the games we do, rally in the 5th or the 6th or the 7th and come up and end up winning, which is kind of fun to watch. It's nerve-wracking for sure, but it's exciting.
Chaos ball.
Chaos ball, especially today against today's Saturday the 30th. Today against the Astros was insanely stressful. Oh, man. Starting the game with a 3-run lead and kind of holding it, doing well. Slowly they start to creep back. The Astros take the lead, and then it's truly chaos ball from there. And they had fight in them. That's a good thing to see, but I guess especially against the Astros, that's nice. But for other teams, that's not what we want to see in the Mariners.
And we had to use every part of our depth today. We used Carlos Santana as a pinch runner today.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out Kyle Lewis and put in
Santana
to run.
And
pinch run.
By the end of the game, Ty France was in second. Abraham Toro was in right field.
First time he's ever played outfield in a major league.
And Adam Frazier was in center field. So that was
Our entire
just for the
outfield
ninth
went down
but,
today.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We had to put Winker in.
For Dylan Moore.
Dylan Moore was dealing with back spasms. Sam Haggerty cut his own face by spiking his helmet.
I mean, I get it. It's frustrating striking out on a sack bunt attempt.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. That's an accident, obviously, like just how I think the Giants had their pitcher like kicked something in the dugout and one of the teammates like stepped on it and like rolled their ankle a little bit. And like it's just unfortunate when you're upset. Dumb shit happens. You throw your glove and it bounces off a wall and fucking nails someone in the head, and everything bad is bad in that
compounds.
moment. Yeah,
Just compiling
just
bad.
keeps rolling.
And I like Sam Haggerty a lot, but he had a very, very rough day at the office today. Nothing went right for him. Hot dogged a play in the outfield that caused Altuve to take second, which then led to him scoring, at the time, the leading run. Not a good day at the plate, striking out when all you have to do is lay down a sacrifice bunt. Sometimes people have bad days. I'm not going to hold it against them. And it goes to show that it's nice that even if someone collapses like that, the team is able to pick them up, and they still, from the skin of their teeth, they've managed to pull out a dub today. So that was nice.
Yeah, Sam Haggerty had a really rough day, and it is nice that we have the personnel to pick him up and rally to win that game, even though he misses that bunt. That was just bad. I think we want Haggerty to make plays when they matter. Like, we want him to have a big hit, but a bunt is the simplest thing, Like, does he have that much pressure on him to get the ball down and can't? It's just the simplest thing to do in the game, and this is the point where we want to keep trusting Sam Haggerty, but he gave us a reason to think twice. But like you said, I think it's really just a bad day because he has been looking pretty good all around the field, honestly. I kind of like him being on our team and bringing the dynamic abilities he has.
The bunt should be the easiest thing to do, but the bunt is also not a big part of the game these days.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they practice it. They probably do.
Sam Haggerty's got to be practicing bunts because he's fast.
He's that guy. He should be bunting in situations like that.
I actually think the easiest thing to do is strike out looking.
Oh, they're hella good at that. They got no problem doing that.
I was going to say, have you ever tried to bunt a curveball? That shit is hard.
For sure.
That shit is
did
really
notice
hard.
They threw him
It
a
is
couple
so
breaking
bad.
balls when they knew he's bunting. So, that's probably pretty hard.
You want to bring up the Riz thing? Because that's awesome.
Oh, man. With Adam Frazier has turned it around. He's been hitting a lot recently, but still there's some types of maybe questionable decisions. For example, today in the first inning, their pitcher couldn't throw a curveball for a strike. Everything was in the dirt, way out of the zone, and Riz is like, oh, you can pretty much ignore the breaking ball because he can't throw it for a strike. And in steps Adam Frazier. And he swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 0-1. And it's just like,
my God.
I mean, if he can't throw it for a strike, as a major league hitter, you should be knowing to sit fastball. He's struggling. He had already hit 2 batters.
That's Framber today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a really good curveball, but if it's not on, then
He had already hit 2 people by the time in the first inning he hit Ty France and Dylan Moore with his curveball and was not throwing it for strikes. So you could be sitting fastball, throws first pitch breaking ball in the dirt, and Frazier just
oh my God.
swung over it. Ended up getting an RBI single in the at bat.
He had to have been sitting fastball first pitch because
Yeah,
he was like, "There's
100%.
no way he's throwing a curveball.
Right,
he
with
cannot
2
throw
men
that.
on, yeah.
He can't throw it. He's throwing a fastball, and then he's swung. He probably laughed at himself too. Like, really? He threw a curveball. He can't throw that pitch. He has to stop throwing that at some point. You want to jump on that first pitch fastball when he really needs a first pitch strike, So I think that's what he was looking for.
Well, they came out with a dub today.
Yeah.
Finally, they beat Houston, and that's an amazing thing. In big Mariners news, though, Luis Castillo is now a Mariner.
Luis Castillo.
That is the biggest news. That was one of the things we all thought was going to happen. We didn't think the Soto thing was necessarily going to happen, and we were hoping for Castillo.
That's big.
We knew there was at least a chance.
And sure enough, we got it. And it goes to show that the Mariners are trying to win. No more next year, oh, we're getting the pieces together. No, they made a move right now to help them win.
Yeah, they did. We traded our number 1 prospect, Noel V. Marte. He gone.
And our number 3
number
prospect.
3 infielder,
We
Edwin
traded-
Arroyo.
3 of our top 5 prospects.
2 pitchers, including Levi Stout.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Moore, I think, is the other guy.
Andrew
Drew Moore.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Which was funny. On Twitter, it was originally announced by like MLB accounts that Dylan Moore was the one that got traded.
I
And
saw that.
Oh
and-
no!
Oh, that's
when I
weird.
was super
Freak
dis-
everybody
Whoa,
out.
whoa.
Yeah, but no, it was Andrew Moore.
Good,
Also,
yeah.
not the same Andrew Moore that was on the Mariners like 10 years ago.
Oh,
He was
okay,
the
yeah, yeah.
ugliest guy I've ever
I was
seen
wondering.
in a
I was
baseball
like, is that
uniform.
the same dude? He
Dude's
can't be
face,
a prospect.
Dude's face looked like the moon, just
I
cratered.
remember
Moon
that
face,
guy.
bro.
Yeah, I'm so happy we got Castillo. I think that means that we're out on the Soto sweepstakes. We kind of traded our top 3 of our top 5 guys, so we're out on Soto, which is fine. Now we're taking the direction we were aiming at anyway. I was super happy to hear we got Castillo last night when you guys were texting. I finally looked at my phone and I did a little dance in the yard. I was super fucking happy. We have another ace in our rotation.
Yeah, and we're not chasing the division. We're going for that wild card spot.
Oh, yeah.
They made a move. You know, they want to win now. It's big. It's what we needed. It's what we've been waiting 20 years for. 20 seasons.
And I want to say to a couple people that might be upset about the prospects that we gave up, 3 of our top 5 prospects, 2 of them are shortstops. The Mariners have solidified shortstop for the next 5 years. We have J.P. Crawford. He has a 5-year deal. You could try to get them to branch out and play other positions, but their pipeline was blocked. It makes sense to get rid of those guys, especially for a player that we need right now to help us win.
Yeah, I think also for Marte and Arroyo, they've never played AAA, so they're in like a pretty low minor league. So it's possible that they get up to AAA and they just kind of flatline. So I think it was a good move.
Yeah, to me, prospects, even our top prospects, they're all maybes. They've never played a major league game. We don't know what they're going to compete at the 3A, 4A gap. We never know how. Like, we
100%.
look at Kelnick came up. He was highly touted, and he's been up and down twice. He has 2 options left, and now he's in a spot where we have to be careful with what we decide to do with them.
Actually, it looks like Kelenic is probably going to get called up again due to all the injuries the Mariners suffered today.
I wouldn't doubt that. That's probably a good reason to use one of his remaining options and give him another shot here. We need a lefty bat that can have some pop.
Yeah, and he's been smashing for the Rainiers like the last week, 2 weeks.
Good, yeah.
So I think his confidence is high. He's spent a decent amount of time in the majors. I think with the confidence and his skill, I think this might be the time where he kind of rises to what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's definitely building back up here. I can definitely feel that potential coming back.
I think the biggest thing, his issue, he had his struggles, but the problem was him getting into his own head, his mental lapse and stuff, getting upset, getting angry, not being able to be calm, cool, and collected throughout a game. And hopefully his time in AAA has rectified that, and he is much better, more clear-headed, and can stay level-headed throughout a game instead of getting pissed off in his first at-bat and
Yeah, man.
frustrating him.
Hopefully someone has him meditating for 10 minutes in between, like, innings or some shit. Like, just go before the game. Just go meditate in
Just
the clubhouse,
relax.
bro. Don't worry about striking out. Don't worry about it. You're going to hit bombs.
So if we're out on Soto, is there a shot we still pick up a catcher? Maybe Wilson Contreras is, I guess, the best, maybe only option out there right now as far as picking up a catcher, and we need to get rid of Torrens.
Well, what's nice about that is Contreras is 100% knows that he's getting traded. In that aspect, it's not like a maybe, will he go somewhere? He's already said his goodbyes to the Cubs organization. The Mariners, if we could get him, would be such a huge pickup, would be so beneficial. Torrens is not getting it done. He pitched last night and gave up a home run, which means he has now given up more home runs than he has hit this year.
Oh, Torrens. Is he the only guy on our team with 0? It's got to be.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy. we do need Wilson Contreras. Terens, we just have him around because he has 0 options left. We're hoping that he'd do well and he'd have some sort of value for our team, or at least we could trade him to someone who needed a rental for like kind of what we need right now.
A lot of teams need catchers, man.
The only other guy I'm really thinking about that's comparable to like what we need, what's his name? Reese McGuire. He went to Kentwood High School and he was on the Blue Jays, he's on the White Sox now, and it seems like he's almost their like 2.5 third catcher, kind of like how Terens is for us. But maybe he has more control and like he's better with the pitchers for sure. He's better behind the plate for sure. I've watched him catch and he works pretty well with the pitching staff. He's pretty decent behind the plate, has a good arm, but he doesn't hit super well, which is a problem. He kind of hits like Terens, so but he is good behind the plate and with the pitching staff, I've noticed.
And I think we can even split the difference. If Cal continues to hit marginally well and doing okay, and has great rapport with the pitchers, then if we can get Contreras, and maybe, you know, he's not as good defensively or maybe doesn't have as great a rapport, but if he can also hit decently enough, that can be the jump that we need. Because right now, the bottom of the Mariners lineup is hurting.
It's a black hole.
It is a black hole, unfortunately. Frazier is turning it around. He is starting to hit better, and Winker has fallen off of a cliff, which is really disappointing.
Yeah.
He hit today.
Yeah.
He's just inconsistent.
Yeah, he's having a couple issues.
I can tell he's trying to make adjustments, and he hasn't really been in the groove. He got in one spot where he had a couple weeks where I was like, yeah, he's seeing the ball, he's hitting the ball. But there's only been like one stretch the whole year I've noticed that. Otherwise, it's been pretty inconsistent. I want to see him go yard. I want to see him stroke it around the yard like we know he can, but he just hasn't yet.
Cal Raleigh is batting .212 right now. He's kind of been floating around 200 all year, right?
I mean, 212 he was in the low to mid ones like just a month and a half ago. So he's on the upswing. Yeah,
Yes.
The average is still low,
That's okay.
but it's better.
He's still
Great trajectory.
working on it.
Yeah, he's still improving.
Taking
what you
big
want to
BP.
see.
And his OBP is high. Like, he's hitting bombs. He has some of the most home runs for a
287.
catcher in the league.
Yeah, 287 OBP.
Yeah. Well, on base percentage. I meant slug. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, 470.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah,
Not
I think
bad.
that's better
It's
than
going
last time
up.
we brought up his.
Yeah,
I don't remember
he's
what
hitting
it was.
better.
Yep. Speaking of saying your goodbyes,
To the organization and
yeah,
stuff.
Trey Mancini seemed to, wave to the crowd after.
Yeah, I
one
did
of
like
his,
an ovation.
Yeah,
after,
one of
like,
his
the
most
last
recent
game.
at bats, and even their announcers were like, and possibly his last at bat for the Orioles. Trey Mancini waves to the crowd, and they all cheer for him. It's like, I haven't even heard where Mancini might go.
I haven't heard either. He could be a good veteran presence to
Oh,
a
yeah.
team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Mancini fan.
Big Mancini fan.
What
That
if he
dude
went
beat
to the
cancer
Padres or
and
something?
came back and won comeback player of the year? That dude
Got
is
second in the home run derby.
Yeah, that dude is
I
awesome.
think Pete Alonso beat him last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, what a legend.
Yeah. Trey Mancini's awesome. I think he's being talked about a lot just because of how long is remaining on his contract. I don't know if it's only through this year or maybe through next year too, but I'm assuming it's just through this year and it's almost a rental situation. So people are forced to talk about him because of his contract. And who needs him? Like the Padres maybe?
The Padres need a lot.
I think the Padres are in the market for Soto right now.
Yeah. They'd
Or at
need a
least they're
lot.
in talks, but
But I'm just
just
saying,
doesn't
who
seem
plays first
likely.
for them? Hosmer? I'm not sure who else.
I haven't paid attention to the Padres at all this year besides Manny Machado just quietly having an amazing season.
Oh, he's killing it.
But Tatis is hurt, so no one cares about the Padres.
Yeah, there was a Padres pitcher, Chris Paddock. I don't know what happened to him. He was kind of a Logan Gilbert type guy, and he kind of fell off at some point. He had a really good fastball, but didn't have any secondary shit. He had the worst command with his curveball and couldn't do it. But I don't know where he even went or what he's doing.
the
Anyway,
only first baseman I see on the Padres is Eric Hosmer right now.
yeah, I mean, they probably could use a Trey Mancini. Just saying.
Yeah,
Haas is,
that's a good
getting
point.
older. He doesn't have a ton of pop anymore, like launch angle wise. He never really has. He hits low liners like we've seen Winker do a lot this year. where it's like, okay, well, where's the launch angle here? We want you to boost some. I think Mancini might fill that gap for them. Seems like a decent fit if they're trying to push for the playoffs.
Oh, it looks like the Mets might be targeting Mancini as well.
Oh, yeah, why not?
He can join Vogelbach.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
they
that's
picked up
right.
Vogie. I
He's
can't
so
believe the Mets
big,
picked
dude.
up Vogie.
So big.
He's
Did you see him
bigger than
bumbling,
ever.
stumbling from second
And
to
rumbling
Yeah.
around the bases.
He's
He has
bigger than
no
ever,
train.
man.
No net.
I think
dude.
he's gotten bigger.
He has
100%.
And not
He's
like
huge.
muscle, the fatter too,
Yes.
like both. He's just
Big old
bigger,
fat guy,
massive.
and he looks like Chris Farley's dipshit brother.
But he mashes, so
He hit like
I don't
shit
know,
for
dude.
us.
when he barrels one up,
I gotta
When he
look it up.
barrels one.
it fucking
but-
goes
He's like
so far.
Zanino, bro. He strikes out like 80% of the time, but if he hits one anywhere past second base, it's gone, right?
I think he has a better chance of getting to first base just rolling rather than running. Just lay down on the ground and just roll over to first. You might get there quicker.
You said that when he was on the Mariners too. Okay,
So my lady friend picked me up a Vogelbaum's T-shirt at the thrift store. I was pretty
Vogelfett.
happy.
that's actually
it's pretty
I'd
funny.
rock a Vogelbaum's t-shirt just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. So for 2022, he's been on 3 teams.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, he's on the Blue Jays, the Pirates, and now he's on the Mets. And small sample size, but he's slugging 600 for the Mets, so good for him.
He's just a fill-in bomber.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
who else we gonna pick up while this guy hits a couple bombs for us?
on the Blue Jays, he was slugging 437, and on the Pirates, he was 430. So
Yeah.
he'll probably slug right around there.
He
for
strikes
the
out a lot, and
Mets.
he'll hit some bombs and maybe a couple doubles.
Vogelbach triple or bust.
We definitely need Wilson Contreras. He'd add such a big punch to our lineup. He can hit, he can catch. He's an athlete. I like that dude. He'd be a big addition to our team after adding Carlos Santana and getting Haniger back. It makes our lineup really deep power-wise.
And I think the Mariners definitely need one more bat. We've added a pitcher. We need one more bat, and he falls in perfectly. It would
And
be
he's a
the-
catcher, and we can DFA Terren, so
Yeah.
it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
It is the best possible move
Let's go.
the Mariners can make, and I really hope they make that happen.
Let's get it.
That'd be huge.
Yeah, I'm tired of trends. Get him out of here.
It's hard to kind of dance around the fact that we're all very tired of Terrens without being just so mean to the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry,
I mean,
dude.
We want him to do well. Obviously, he's in a situation where we can't send him down or we have to designate him for assignment. So he knows that.
I think he's well aware of that.
He hasn't hit a bomb. He doesn't
Gave
really
up a
hit
bomb?
lefties
Gave
all
up a
that well anymore. I don't know what's going on. He had a decent year last year and showed us that he could be worthwhile, but this year's just...
I don't want to see him in
Don't
too
care.
many more games coming up.
Please replace him on our roster.
But I mean, the schedule coming up is trending positive for the Mariners. I think we got a real cakewalk on our hands after we play the Yankees, I think.
We have about another week of rough waters, and then, oh my God, it is such a beautiful schedule. It is the teams we're playing. It's so much. One, we're not playing Houston for the rest of the season after tomorrow. No more Houston. And then we got to play the Yankees, which is going to be rough. And then it's a lot of Texas, Oakland, Angels over and over again for the rest of the season. There's a couple Detroit and Cleveland series sprinkled in, but it's a lot
Atlanta.
of division games that can really, really set us apart from the pack for the last bit of the season.
Yeah, just a fun little fact about Texas. After we swept them, I did some digging, and we've played them like 5 or 6 series this year, maybe 4, and we have dropped 2 games total, which is great.
We've been killing
That's
them.
amazing. Yeah, Texas can get these hands anytime.
So the actual schedule coming up here after this tomorrow's Houston game, it's going to be New York for 3 at New York, and then we come home and play the Angels at home, and then the Yankees come into town. That's 4 with the Angels and then 3 with the Yankees. So we go Yankees, Angels, Yankees, Rangers, Angels, A's, Nationals, Guardians, Tigers, Guardians, White Sox, and that's the stretch that we're looking forward to right there.
Especially, it's a kind of a bummer that the Nationals game is only a 2-game series because they are garbanzo beans.
Last time we
Yeah,
played the
they're
Nationals was a
pretty
2-game
garbanzo.
series.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Also, that we have two-game series against them this year.
It's just that's how it is in interleague. They
Yeah.
split them up into 2-game series.
Yeah, when the Braves came to town, I think last year, 2 years ago, we played 2-game series and then went over there and back in
same with
August.
Padres, yeah, all of those are 2-game series for interleague.
Also, in the beginning of September, the 8th and the 12th are 2 at-home rest days, which during that late in the season is so huge for your team. I mean, if you get like 1 at-home rest day, that's good. Usually your rest days are mainly travel days. So to have 2 at-home rest days in a week span, the Mariners are going to be well-rested, well-relaxed at home, and just playing not very good teams. This will be the push that the Mariners need to get into the wild card.
They need to capitalize on that. 2 at-home rest days, especially for the Mariners, a very heavily traveled team, is going to be big for us.
Oh my! I'm looking ahead at even more, like late September into October. We have Angels, A's, Royals, and then Rangers, A's, Tigers to end the season. We have a really
it's
good
looking
chance
good
to take
for us.
all of those games.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, you got to think like the AL East. I mean, other wild card teams are just all AL East teams, right? So when we
man.
get later into the season, they're gonna have to cannibalize each other.
They're beating
at
up
some
on
point.
each other.
Yeah.
That was
for
the exact
sure.
word I was going to use, cannibalize.
Mhm.
They're going to
Yeah.
tear each other apart. And
The Rays lost Kiermaier. They lost Zunino for the
Yep.
year. They're in a rough spot already. I think the Rays might fall off faster than even the Red Sox are pretty bad, but they could at least make a push. But I don't even know. They're all going to beat up on each other. The Red Sox are going to have bad days and good days, even though they're in the basement.
And who comes out on top? The Mariners.
that's
and look at the Orioles. Maybe the Orioles will be there with the Mariners
That'd
side
be
by
awesome.
side. Remember
Go
how they
Bird
teamed
Bros.
up with us last
Bros.
year?
We love that for them. We
man.
want to see the Orioles.
Sister teams. What if we play each other in the wild card or some shit? That'd be
don't break my heart.
that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. That'd be too crazy.
Yeah, it's been struggling playing the Astros, and you think it looks down, and oh man, they're slumping. They're falling apart. They're not really falling apart. They're playing one of the best teams in baseball, and we know we don't have the pieces to beat them for the division.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what the Mariners are going for right now. We're trying to end the drought, and as long as the end of the season goes their way and they play hard, it can happen. It can happen this year without a doubt. So don't get down on the Mariners. Don't get frustrated. It's right around the corner. This is really happening. This is all good things.
We're gonna see the Mariners in the playoffs this year, and I am having less and less doubts the more we look at the schedule like we just did, and the more pieces we get together back from injuries. When we get rid of Terrans and get Contreras in here, we just picked up Castillo. This is gonna be exciting. And we're ending the drought. We're gonna be in the mix in October. I know the MLB added a couple playoff spots, but we still might be in the top of that wild card race anyway. We're not taking the division, but we could still make the top of the wild card and be a decent seed. So since we just picked up Luis Castillo, it doesn't seem like we're in the market for another pitcher. It seems like we have our bullpen pretty together. In my opinion, we've been locked down. I've been calling it a 4 or 5-headed monster. Usually you hear a 3-headed monster, 3-headed. No, dude, this seems more than that when everyone's on. Unfortunately, Diego Castillo just went down on the 15th day. He kind of had a rough night the other night and went down on the 15th day. So that we lost one guy, but we just have a stack of right-handed pitchers in our bullpen. We have one lefty in there. Or I guess with Malone we have 2, but Barucki's been our one lefty for most of the time recently since we picked him up mid-season, which has been pretty good since we don't have to see Misevich anymore. We didn't have to see who else do we have? Roenis Elias. We didn't have to see him anymore.
Yeah,
got
I was
Barucki
looking
in
through
there.
our pitchers earlier, and a lot of them are gone now. Misevich and who else did we get rid of? We talked about this earlier.
There was just a couple of random guys that had like one appearance and gave up like 5 runs,
Yeah.
and we never saw him again, which is fine.
Like once Penn Murphy got called up, that one dude is just gone forever. 'Cause
Yeah.
Penn Murphy held it down like nobody's business.
And the Mariners bullpen has been stellar. You got Eric Swanson,
Yes.
Paul Sewald, Castillo, who is
Yes.
hurt but was killing it. Penn Murphy, a
Yeah.
rookie, 30-year-old rookie coming up, killing it. Like
Munoz.
Andres
Munoz.
Munoz.
Yeah,
He
so
was so sick.
we
He
don't
finally
have
got his shit together.
Johan Ramirez.
Yeah, I was surprised we got rid of him.
We don't have Sergio Romo, obviously. Danny Young, is he still in the minors?
He might be on our 40 man. Is he a lefty? I think he's a left-handed pitcher, so they kind of keep him around.
Yeah, Roenis Elias, Anthony Misevich, Drew Steckenrider. That's another one we don't have
Stack,
anymore.
Yeah, he kind of dropped the ball.
Wyatt Mills is gone.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys were early season guys. They came in at the beginning of the year and just weren't getting it done. And the guys that are still there have been getting it done all season. And every bullpen pitcher is going to go through maybe a rough stretch where they might not be as on point. But with our bullpen depth being so thick, if one guy's starting to struggle, you don't have to throw him out there every other day. You have enough guys that, okay, he's going through a little bit of a rough patch. Let's use them sparingly. We aren't forced to use any guys that might not be at 100%. So our bullpen has been stellar. And it's really, you'll notice that a lot with teams that begin to fall late in the season. It's because their bullpen falls apart. They start giving up runs late in games and stuff. And that also sucks the momentum out of your team. If you're winning late in games and you're constantly having a reliever come in and blow games for you, whether it be a blown save or a blown hold in like the 7th or the 8th inning, that's demoralizing to a team. And the Mariners haven't really had to deal with that this year.
Yeah, case in point, the Blue Jays, before the break, they lost a lot. I think the 4-game series we played them, I think 3 of the 4, their bullpen blew the games. I mean, they also came back after the All-Star break and won like 8 in a row. But aside from that, their bullpen has been kind of down in the dumps.
And that's definitely been one of the Mariners' strong suits this year. And that will help them near the end of the season, too, when we're not worried about, can we hold on to this lead? When we know it's damn near a given in this late season push, it could not be more beneficial.
Yeah, man, I just want to say Eric Swanson had a ERA under 1 until like the last couple games or whatever. He has like a 1.24 ERA after today, I think. And he's been amazing. He's only pitched, I think it was like 29 innings. I can't remember exactly, but he's been locked down. He's been insane. I remember when Swanson, we kind of had him as a spot starter a few years ago. He'd like be our 5th guy when we needed guy to start, and then he transitioned to the bullpen. I was worried about him. I knew he had a good curveball, and that was about it. But he really turned a corner this last couple years. I was so surprised last year when he started throwing that splitter and striking dudes out, getting the swing and miss that I'd never seen. And he's been locked down all year long, not just in this last stretch, but all year.
He's been the guy. In 29 innings pitched, he has a 1.24 ERA right now.
Yeah.
And that's with the last couple of games doing okay. He's had a slight dip, but he is just the man.
Yeah, way more strikeouts than walks, 20 hits in 29 innings. Like, insane. Really good. On the other hand, Andres Munoz, he had a rough start to the year where you could tell he was trying to figure it out. Like, he'd have days where he was in the dirt. He'd have days where he's sailing his fastball.
He was overthrowing.
Yeah, definitely. He was trying to figure it out and get comfortable out there. But now I knew he has the shit. Like, he's throwing over 100 miles an hour. His slider is better than his fastball, I want to say. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah, someone that throws 102, 103 miles per hour, and that's not even their best pitch.
Man. And
His
he throws
slider
his
is like 90 miles per hour. It's disgusting.
He throws it like 60% of the time.
Yeah,
you don't know which
recently
one you're
started
gonna,
doing that, right?
You don't know which one you're going to get struck out with.
But you are going to strike out.
Hopefully looking.
But you are definitely, you're going to strike out against Munoz. Dude has like a 33% strikeout rate? A third of all of his hitters are going down with a K.
Yeah, I think Andres Munoz has the highest strikeout rate in the American League right now.
Ooh, Ooh, that's a stat to look up.
I think he does, and I think Swanson might be second or third. No, Festa is second. Maybe Swanson's like 12th.
I know Edwin Diaz has like a 50% strikeout rate.
Oh, bro. Yeah, I was
It's
going to
nuts.
say, Andres is like a new Edwin. He's our new Edwin. And Edwin's killing it again. He looks so good.
He struggled a bit after he got traded.
Oh, he
but
did.
He's
He
back.
did. He had a down
He is
year.
back, boy.
Back. He's
I miss
so
Diaz.
good. Me too.
I'm glad we got rid of Cano, though.
Fuck yeah. Thank God. And now I'm glad we're not paying him anymore. We got rid of him long ago, and we're paying him until last year.
His contract was like 10 years, right?
Oh, my God.
We signed him?
Yeah, it was a 10-year contract.
Bullshit.
But also the Mets took a lot of that money when we got rid of him, which is fleeced like the Padres, giving us Munoz and France and Trammell for basically new age Bobby Ayala,
Dan Altavilla.
Dan Altavilla.
Austin Nola.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a haul, man. We overhauled our system with those guys.
Dude, honestly, I mean, the Austin Nola thing had to happen, but I kind of want him back now. He'd be a great Luis Torrens.
You know who I thought about? Omar Narvaez. He'd be awesome to have back
Oh,
too.
man.
He's
He's
still
been with-
doing pretty well
with
on
the
the
Brewers.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been hitting, dude. Or at least I don't know about recently, but I've seen him doing really well this last few years.
It would be awesome to have him back. But you got to trade these guys away to get what we have now.
That's right.
It just kind of sucks that they turned into really good players. I mean, Narvaez wasn't even bad when we traded him,
No, he
Austin
started.
Nola's
He was
okay.
a hitter.
but now he's good, I would say. He's a plus.
Sure.
Yeah, the Mariners curse always seems like we get people from other teams, like starters, who just kind of fizzle out, and then our farm system people that we bring up are garbage, and then people that we have had for several years go to other teams and like kill it, and it's frustrating.
Well, hopefully that is now no longer the trend. Hopefully Castillo comes here and kills it. He's been so dominant for the Reds. Also, we have 3 Reds. Like, the Reds are
Yeah.
dog shit, and we have 3 of their players on our team right now with Castillo, Winker, and Suarez.
Yeah, I saw a quote from Winker. It was saying, "Oh yeah, man, Luis Castillo's gonna fit in great here. Like he's awesome. You know." So-
Suarez says he called him and was like, "Hey, man, like, are you stoked to come to the Mariners?" He said he's stoked. He was like, "Happy to see you again. It's going to be awesome." So, yeah, both of those guys.
Back with the boys.
And that also helps because it can, for some people, it can be really hard to leave your team and go to a new clubhouse where you don't know anyone. And it's like your first day at a new school. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, he's got boys on the team who
Yeah.
he knows.
This
he's going
is
to
like
fit in
transferring
great.
to a school that you already have multiple homies at. Like,
Yeah. Oh, like Garrett was saying a couple episodes ago, Carlos Santana, he's probably at a school he didn't like to be at very much. And then he's like, "Oh, sick, I get to transfer to that place." Like, they're having fun over there. They're actually, like, getting things done and feeling good about it. Like,
I'm
let's
tired
go.
of this.
Let's turn it on.
This low-ranking prep school that has no sports teams. Got to wear
I
a
hate my
tie.
home
Middle
ec
of the
teacher.
country where it's flat as
He
fuck.
has nothing around. Dress code bullshit. Then he gets to go to the cool school.
I heard they have the best proms.
Yeah, Patrick, we were talking about this a couple of years ago, how when we had Cano, we got another player because they knew Cano.
That helped us get Nelson Cruz.
There we
yeah.
go. That's
That
what it was.
That was one of the things. We thank Cano for that because Nelson Cruz came here because him and Cano were tight.
Boomstick, baby.
Also, Nelson Cruz, one of the other players who had come over in a trade and did not suck, overplayed his contract, honestly. He was so dominant for the Mariners, and I miss him so much.
Yeah, and just
Shout
all
out to
around.
Nelly Cruz.
All around, great guy.
Yes.
Huge arms.
Huge arms, huge smile,
Travels with the posse.
huge bombs. Dude would mash.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. I
he
loved
was-
his home runs. They were majestic. I loved it. Hitting them off the scoreboard above the bullpens and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I bought a Nelson Cruz jersey when he was here. That'd be a sick jersey to have, honestly.
I'd rock a Nelson Cruz jersey. Absolutely. Mariners, though. I don't want a Brewers Cruz.
No, yeah.
I don't want a
The Mariners for sure.
What, Twins? Was he on the Brewers?
I'd get the
Twins.
Northwest
I
Green.
don't-
He was on the
Twins.
Twins, yeah.
I don't want a Twins Cruz. I don't want a. Where's he now? Nationals? I don't want a
think he's on the
Nationals Cruz.
But I think he's been hurt.
Ugh.
Well, we do see us guys to wrap this up a little. What jersey we would like to have right now from someone on another team, current player.
Oh, anyone
Yeah,
in the
current
league
player.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. Rules are the player has to be playing right now. Could be from another team, though. They don't have to be on the team. Like I'm saying, Nelson Cruz, you don't have to, just because you pick Nelson Cruz, you don't need a Nationals jersey because no one wants that.
Yeah. I'd
No, you
rather
can
have a
pick
Twins for sure.
Mariners or Twins or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
I'm gonna pick 3. I got some good
Go
ones.
it. Yeah. Go, man.
I would rock a Trey Mancini Orioles jersey, no
course.
question.
Yeah, man.
Big Mancini fan. I would rock a Byron Buxton Twins.
Hell yeah.
That is a good pick. Byron Buxton is the man.
He's
And
cool as fuck.
I got a toss up between like a Lance Lynn White Sox
Mm-hmm.
or a Chris Bryant Rockies.
Okay.
Those are my picks.
That's your
So
coin flip.
I got the 2, and then I got a shaky 3.
Rockies have cool jerseys, and Chris Bryant is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
man. The
I
purple.
like those picks. Those are pretty good.
Purple Bryant. That'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really just want a White Sox jersey, but I don't know who I would pick. So I
Yeah.
went with Lance Lynn because he's
know.
he's
Eloy-
not having a great year, but he is nasty overall.
Eloy Jimenez keeps getting hurt. You could get a Lou Bob.
Lou
A
Bob.
Louis Robert.
I'm
be a
sticking
good
with
one.
Lance Lynn.
Yeah, Lance Lynn's cool. I got some jerseys that I'd like for sure. I agree with Garrett, and one of my top picks would be Byron Buxton. I love that guy. It'd be cool. I like the Twins jerseys anyway. I kind of think the Mariners and Twins have a type of brotherhood just in my mind. I've always liked the Twins. We're kind of northern teams, and
And we get a lot of Minnesota folks over here.
yeah. And we've been not good for a long time together. But yeah, Byron Buxton's awesome. So that's one of my top. I would definitely buy a Shohei Ohtani jersey. I think that might be a given. He's incredible. I don't know what else to say about that guy, but I'd buy one of his jerseys and wear that around,
I think that's fair.
even though the Angels are terrible. My third guy would probably be Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Great
'cause
pick.
I love Vlad. He's such a cool guy. He's Vlad Jr. I don't know what to say. It's a dynasty of baseball that represents more than just himself, and it means a lot to me. And I think the Blue Jays jerseys are pretty sick too.
Yeah, you're not going to go with Bo Bichette Dynasty. You're not going to go with
Not quite.
who's the other? Kevin Biggio Dynasty.
Yeah. Nope. The Vlad.
Vladdy.
The
Yep.
Guerrero dynasty.
I would too. What about you, Patrick? What jerseys are you picking?
For me, definitely 100% Sandy Alcantara from the Miami Marlins. Dude is 100% winning the Cy Young Award this year.
Yes.
He is insane. One of my favorite pitchers to watch. And Marlins can kind of have some okay jerseys. So it'd be, kind of stylish to rep them, but probably one of my favorite players in the league right now. Definitely him.
Yeah, man.
One?
Sandy's really cool.
You got more. Come on.
I don't know. I hate to admit it, but I love Mike Trout.
Sure. Oh, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Rock
don't
the
think
fish
anyone's going to
jersey,
hate on
man.
you for rocking a Mike Trout jersey.
Yeah, rock
Well,
the fish.
Yeah.
Rock the fish, the Marlins and Mike
Do
Trout.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
a
I'm saying.
fish boy.
I'm just a fish boy.
Yeah, I think that would pretty much do it for me. Usually a lot of the jerseys that I buy tend to be older players. Like I have a really sick Adam Jones Arizona Diamondbacks jersey,
Oh.
one of their alternates, which sometimes Diamondbacks get shit on for having kind of ugly jerseys. I think they're the coolest in the league.
Was that like the gray with the teal and shit?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
that's so cool looking.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite jersey.
Adam Jones was a G too. I love Adam.
Mhm. But I'd say, yeah, those would be the two jerseys that I would get, Trout and Alcantara.
Yeah, I would probably number one would be Acuna Jr. for the Braves.
Hey.
Awesome.
I have a special place in
yeah.
my heart for the Braves.
I like the Braves jerseys too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
a great
clean.
pick.
They're clean, and
Ah.
he's like their franchise tag player. Like they put a lot of money and investment into him, and he's killing it. Trevor Story when he was on the Rockies, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like.
Okay.
I got to
That's a
put
good
some
one.
purple in there.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. I went the same thing with Chris Bryant. So yeah.
And I've been to, I think it's Coors Stadium. I've been there, and it's
Yeah, Coors Field.
Coors
Coors
Field.
Field.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Coors Field is like right in the heart of downtown, so like you can go anywhere. And then lastly, probably Joe Kelly was on the Dodgers. And it gives only because he's not a very good pitcher, but only because he had the balls to throw at the Astros after they cheated, and that was the coolest thing I've ever seen on John Boy's channel.
That's some balls for sure.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. He was throwing
Pouty
right
face.
at him.
Oh, so
I think I
classic
brought
now.
that up when I was talking to Patrick about jerseys the other night, about Joe Kelly. That's a good one. I like that a lot.
Can I add a fourth just because Patrick
Absolutely,
only
I
had
had 4.
2?
yeah. Fill
Yep.
up my empty
No,
slot.
I'll fill a third for you.
Fill his empty slot. You heard it here, folks.
Mad Max Scherzer.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's a jersey I'd wear. That
That's
dude's one
the
of the
one I
best
disagree
pitchers
with.
ever, man.
It's better.
He's
no,
nasty.
It's better than Madison Bumgarner. I'll
Yeah, I
take
wouldn't
Max
wear a
Scherzer.
Mad Bum. I'd wear a Tim Lincecum over Mad Bum.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's from up here at Liberty High School.
that's right.
I didn't play with him there, but he graduated right before I went to go play there. So, but I'd wear a Tim Lincecum jersey for sure. But
He's-
Mad Bum, no.
Lincecum
Mad
isn't in
Max,
the league,
yes.
right?
Let's go.
No.
No,
He's been out for a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has not been 10 years.
His
has it?
arm fell off. Like
Yeah.
he
I know it's
pitched
been a
hard
minute,
and
but
then gone.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
like 10 years.
He just went and smoked blunts and stuff instead.
He got
which
his
is cool.
money and dipped. He got his
He
got
his
ring,
rings,
too.
bro.
Yeah.
He got his Cy Young, I think. 2
2 no-hitters.
no-hitters. Yeah, he got it done, dude. He did what he wanted to do.
Lincecum's a good jersey. I didn't go to Liberty. I didn't even play baseball.
So there's other jerseys, a little insight into what we'd pick with the See Us guys. And we just wanted to thank you again for listening to our episode. Please remember to like and subscribe. Click the little subscribe button on YouTube. It's super easy. It really helps us out. So please do that. Tell your friends, spread the word, and make sure to, as always, to message us or whatever if you have any questions or something you want us to talk about on the show. Thank you so much for listening. We couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you. We appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And go Mariners.
Go
Mariners!